Imagine being taken away from everything you know and love in an instant. You don't know if you will ever see your family, friends, or even the United States ever again. All because you put your trust into somebody who ended up deceiving you. Human traffickers use deceit to gain trust from their victims by luring them under false pretenses. They achieve this by promising a victim a better life, which could be a well-paying job, stability, education, or even a loving relationship. Movies like Taken have led many people to believe that human trafficking is only happening over in foreign countries, when in reality, this has become a worldwide issue that anyone can become a victim of, although there have been ways found to prevent it. Today, I will inform you about the dangers of human trafficking. I will first define human trafficking and provide background on it. Then I will highlight who can become a victim to this crime, and finally, I will discuss the ways that it can be prevented. The United Nations on Drugs and Crime has developed their own definition for human trafficking. They define it as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or delivery of persons by improper means, such as force, abduction, fraud, or coercion, for an improper purpose, including forced labor or sexual exploitation. It is stated in an article titled Human Trafficking, Exploitation of Illegal Aliens, that after drug dealing, human trafficking is the second largest criminal industry in the world today, and it is fast growing. This is a frightening fact because the International Labor Organization estimates that human trafficking generates about $150.2 billion a year in illegal profits worldwide. The U.S. Department of the State states that 2/3 of these profits are from commercial sexual exploitation, while the other third is from forced labor exploitation. There are three main types of human trafficking to be wary of, and they are sexual exploitation, forced labor, and organ harvesting. Sexual exploitation is when someone is deceived or coerced to take part in sexual activities such as prostitution, brothels, or forced marriages. This is a prevalent type of human trafficking since about 54% of people fall victim to this crime. The second most frequently used form of human trafficking is forced labor. Forced labor harbors about 38% of victims. It is when victims are forced to work for little or no pay, often under threats such as violence, accumulated debt, or retention of identity papers. The least used type of trafficking is organ harvesting, which only about 8% of people are victims of. Organ harvesting is where traffickers remove a part of the body, commonly the kidneys or the liver, to sell in illegal trade. The number of profits is rapidly increasing every year. This means the more traffickers earn, the more victims they have to make that money for them. Next, let's take a look at the victims of human trafficking. Anyone of any age, race, or gender can become a target for human trafficking. A nonprofit organization called the Truckers Against Trafficking states that there are 40.3 million victims of human trafficking. That's larger than the population of the whole entire Midwest. In an online database called Human Trafficking, Human Misery, it states that the U.S. government provides estimates on the age, sex, and type of exploitation to which the victims are exposed. The largest percentage of victims is adult women at 47%, followed by girls under 18 at 34%. Shockingly, young boys under 18 come in next at 16% that are sexually exploited, while only about 6% of men are victimized. Adult men. Many of these victims face challenges with trying to access help. Oftentimes, traffickers may confiscate their identifications, documents, and money. Victims are also prohibited from any type of contact with their family or friends. This brings me to my final topic on how to help victims and recognize the warning signs of trafficking. The United States Congress passed a bipartisan called Trafficking Victims Protection Act, or also known as TVPA, on October 28, 2000. It was created to ensure just and effective punishment of traffickers and to protect their victims. This act has three main components to it. It is commonly known as the 3 Ps: protection, prosecution, and prevention. The TVPA increased the U.S. government's protection for trafficking victims by helping victims who are not eligible for government assistance. To also protect a victim, you can also call the National Human Trafficking Hotline, which is at 1-888-373-788. Or you may text the number 233-733 or Be Free to help a victim of trafficking. The Trafficking Victims Protection Act also authorized the U.S. government to strengthen efforts to prosecute traffickers by creating new crimes of trafficking. TVPA also increased prevention by addressing trafficking within the U.S. through research and awareness raising. With the use of the 3 Ps, protection, prosecution, and prevention, you or someone you may know can either be saved from human trafficking or you can help someone be saved. In conclusion, today I have informed you that human trafficking has become a harsh reality worldwide. We are now more conscious of the warning signs of trafficking and that anyone at any time can fall victim to this crime. I hope with my information from my speech today, you as my audience will be able to help inform others of the potential dangers of human trafficking.